Hey guys, welcome back. Aurabomb here, bringing you the very first of our hopefully month-long straight of Unbroken Bonds content. Yes, I know we are 1 month before the Unbroken Bonds set comes out officially, but as you guys always know, 1 month before a set comes out, me and a handful of friends get together, just start. We print out the cards. By the way, that's how we get them. We print out the cards and we just start testing the decks. Makes for good, fun content, and I do love just playing decks early. Sometimes, you know, for me, I'm pretty impatient. Pokemon gets boring after like a month with a set, so I just want to rush into playing the next set all the time. So to the left is me, Aurabomb. Hello. I'll be playing this weird makeshift Persian GX deck that plays a lot like Vesquin, a bunch of Pokemon, a handful of ways to discard the Pokemon, but it's in standard. So obviously you have the awkwardness of not having cards like Battle Compressor and stuff like that, but it's still fun nonetheless. Versus to my right, my friend Kate, who is playing Buzzwole Pheramosa Tag Team GX, one of the more anticipated cards that come out of this set. So I'm really excited for this. These are both going to be really interesting. So before we get into the video, don't forget to drop a like, check out our sponsors at Guardian Gaming, and I have a link to my Patreon down below if you guys want to support the content. Obviously, the more support we get, the faster and more high quality I can get out these videos for you guys. Now for this video, I'm not going to have pictures of the cards on screen like I usually do. Limitless is where I got all my cards. So if you go to limitless.com, there's a translation place where you can find the translations for all the cards. Now a lot of these cards are printed in English, but for the sake of like saving time, because it takes like an extra 2 hours of editing to splice in all the cards and all the things like that. So just to save time, because I have to make sure I have this audio done before tomorrow, more or less. Not going to be doing that today, but Kate over here is actually playing a Buzzmosa list that only plays 4 Pheramosa Buzzwole as your Pokemon. There's going to be a lot of mulligans. It's because it's using a green engine, which is actually a ridiculously strong engine in these tag team decks. So you'll be seeing a lot of mulliganing, but I think it's only this game where she mulligans more than like twice, I think. Although for this time she's doing 6. I got a bottle of water with me today, so hopefully I won't be clearing my throat as much. But I'm fairly excited about this stuff. Don't forget to answer the comment question of the day for a chance to win a couple codes, thanks to our sponsors at Guardian Gaming. We'll also be doing some Unbroken Bond codes once the set officially gets released. But I guess for today's comment question of the day is going to be, what's the deck you're most anticipated to try? Like, what's the deck you want to try out the most as soon as this set comes out? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to make sure I have all of my all of my pages open, so and just in case I need to quickly double check any translation, it's here. I probably should have edited out all of this mulliganing, I'm not gonna lie, but here we are. I promise I'm not trying to make this video as long as possible. I was actually trying to make it as short as possible by making the content itself less long. I sped up the game, is what I'm trying to say, but hopefully this is gonna be the one. Oh, she finally did it. Oh, thank God. But that's 8 mulligans, and I'm probably gonna get judged turn 1. But let's go over what Persian does real quick. Persian GX. Let me double check that I have the right. See, Persian over here. Ooh, I have 2 Night Unisons. That's not good. Double Blaze, Night Unison, and I don't remember. Is it Full Metal Wall? Yeah, it's Full Metal Wall. Pokey Beach. Full Metal Wall. Of course, of course, when I'm trying to make sure everything is professional as possible. Also, ignore the glare in the middle. Some videos will have it depending on where we recorded. Other videos will not. Let's see if Persian's in this one. No, it's in Double Blaze. Okay, that's fine. There it is, Persian GX. Okay, so what Persian GX does is actually a lot better than I originally thought it did. Its ability, it's a Pokemon, 200 HP, GX Stage 1 Pokemon. So you see all the Meowths there. Its attack does 10 damage plus 20 more damage to each Pokemon in your discard pile for a maximum of 9. So you can hit a max 190 without any damage buffs, right? So what I'm doing with this deck is I'm playing this fun Giratina engine that you can put Giratinas on the board, spread damage around the board, put things in range of Persian, while also using Giovanni, which is a brand new supporter that discards 2 of your bench Pokemon that have no damage counters on them. So you just quickly use Giratina, put them back in the discard pile so you can fuel up the damage of your Persian. and then attack with Persian's Revenge. So that's a 3 colorless attack cost, which we do have a brand new triple energy card. And I also played, as you saw, Great Ball to get myself the Dene GX, the brand new Shaman of the format. So it helps a lot of these turbo decks as far as discarding and stuff goes. But we'll talk about Shaman as the Dene as a card gets played. My opponent has 2 Pheramosa Buzzwole down. Now Pheramosa Buzzwole is very familiar to a lot of us. It does 30 damage plus 30 damage to the bench to a bench Pokemon, just like Buzzwole does, but for a grass energy. Its second attack does 190 base damage, I believe. Let me double check here. Yeah, it does 190 base, but you can't. But the next turn you attack with Elegant Soul, you only do 60. But that's for 3 grass energy, grass, colorless, and its GX attack is what makes it so amazing. But as you saw, there's Pokegear. Pokegear lets you go look at the top 7 cards of your opponent's deck, and if you find the top 7 cards of your deck and find a supporter you find there and put it into your hand. So Pokegear is like a nerfed random receiver in the sense that like you don't get to dig through your whole deck, but you also don't get to reveal your cards, which is kind of nice at the same time. So it's kind of like the Tapu Lele replacement. I'm playing the non-GX Persian, the one that lets you look at your opponent's hand and discard cards until there's only 4 left into your opponent's deck. There's another way to disrupt your opponent's side, kind of. It's always nice to play, especially against unknown hand. I'm going to discard a Giovanni with Mysterious Treasure to get myself... that was really weird. I don't know why I discard four cards there. Anyways, whatever. I'm going to Ultra Ball away some stuff to get myself Persian. Was that? I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake there. Regardless of the mistake, I don't think it matters too much. Let me see. But yeah, I'm just counting the Pokemon down. I mean, oh yeah, it doesn't matter because I was going to play the Dene anyway, so that works out. I'm going to use the Dene here. So the Dene, what it does is discard your whole hand and draw 6 cards. So it's like Shaman. It's a little bit better depending on how you want to see it, because what Shaman does is you can draw until you have 6 cards, but this the Dene discards which means you're always drawing 6 cards, which is just really nice in general. Great Ball's working here because we're playing so many Pokemon. Found another Giratina as well. Now Persian, it's using another Great Ball here, just trying to fuel as much damage as I possibly can so I can get those 2 KOs faster. Found a Jirachi here. Now Persian has an ability that's really strong as well. Its ability being, can I find the Persian again? There it is. Catwalk. Once during your turn, if your Pokemon GX or EX was knocked out by damage from your opponent's attack during your last turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. So you can only use this ability once per turn. So what it does is that if a GX Pokemon was knocked out, then you can search your deck for up to 2 cards. Now, what I originally thought this card did was if the card itself was knocked out, but it counts any GX, which is actually really cool. You can put this in Zoroark decks. You can really fit this in any GX deck at all if you want. It's a colorless attacker. Its attack is kind of hard to make work because it's based off like how many Pokemon are in your discard pile, so very few decks can really abuse the attack, but it's still a 3 energy attack cost. We have access to the brand new triple boost energy, which puts 3 colorless energy on a Pokemon, on an evolved Pokemon, and then you discard the card at the end of your turn. So we have some pretty cool ways to attack with Persian, but its attack itself isn't super strong in decks that aren't really focused on setting it up. It also has a GX attack, Slashback GX, 150 damage, and switches to only bench Pokemon. It's just like Glisspot GX's GX attack, Suicune GX is the same thing now, things like that. So nothing too crazy there. As far as Pheramosa Buzzwole's GX attack goes, this is where the fun stuff happens, right? Pheramosa Buzzwole has a really crazy GX attack that has actually found a lot of tech uses as well. So I definitely want to get myself at least 1 full art of this card. It's a GX attack that's 50 damage, and if your opponent is knocked out, and it's only for 1 grass energy. If the opponent is knocked out by this attack, you take 1 extra prize card. So immediately, if you knock out a Pokemon with this card, you take 1 extra prize. That's really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and attack my opponent, and since it's the end of my turn, obviously I get rid of the triple boost. But the GX attack says, if you have at least 7 extra energy attached to this Pokemon, you take 3 extra prizes instead of 1. So obviously, if you knock out a Tag Team GX with this Beast Game GX attack, you win the game because that's 6 prizes. But even so, like you take 5 prizes off a regular GX, 4 prizes off a non-GX. It's crazy how many prizes you can take with this card. And since you already spread damage with the first attack so much, it's easy enough to set up the board to be in your favor. So here, we're trying to reach that 2 KO number. Pheramosa Buzzwole does have 260 HP, which means we have to hit him for 160, which is already kind of hard, but we just force a GX attack. We discard the triple boost. But yeah, it is knockout because of the choice band, and we go into our Jirachi. Because Jirachi's already in Jet Punch range, it doesn't matter too much, but we are going to take 3 prizes as long as I can remember to take my prizes, which I will do eventually. Boom, there we go. So as you can see, between the Dene, Mysterious Treasure, Ultra Ball, and combine that with Great Ball. Great Ball giving you the ability to put Pokemon into your hand so you can discard them with these effects. It makes putting Pokemon in the discard pile doesn't take nearly as long as you can see. Now Green Search, which I believe this is her second time using it. First of all, she's using Lieutenant Surge, a brand new, incredibly strong card. Lieutenant Surge gives you the ability to use 2 supporters if you're behind on prizes. So obviously my opponent's behind on prizes, so you can use 2 extra supporters this turn, not just 2, including Lieutenant Surge, 2 extra supporters. So as you can see, my opponent's going to take a huge lead because she used Lieutenant Surge, then a Green Search to get B-String and another Green Search, then another Green Search to use another 2 B-Strings, which got her 2, 4, 6 energies, giving her 7 energies so far. So 7 extra energies, seven energies right now. So she still needs 1 more energy to take the GX knockout. So she has she has 2 attached already. No, she has her 8 energies, which means her GX knockout now is going to get her 4 prizes, which means all she has to do is Elegant Soul any of the Persians for game now. So obviously all she is a Guzma away from winning the game. So that's a tad bit ridiculous that all happened just like that, but whatever, what can I say? I'm thinking about attacking with Persian here, just because if I attack with Persian, I can look at her hand, put a little bit of damage on board, but more importantly, look at her hand and get rid of any Guzmas she might have if she has too many cards in her hand. I guess that's what I'm going to try to do here, because I have to try to put this thing in range. There's a new Marshadow. What it does is that you can put it on your bench. If there's a stadium in play, you can discard it and remove that stadium. So it's one of the few ways we have in the game to get rid of Prism Star Stadiums outside of stadium bumping, since Prism Star Stadium doesn't get affected by supporters or items. It only works on like attacks, effects, and stadium bumping itself. We're going to play another Dedenne here just to discard my whole hand and see if we can draw anything that can help us out here. Like I said, we're just trying to fuel up damage, get another Persian down. My opponent never knocked out a GX, so we were never able to use Persian GX's ability in this game. But we're going to continue fueling the discard pile, as you can see with the Dedennes and with cards like Giovanni Scheme and the Treasure and Ultra Ball. It's actually not that hard to fuel up our discard pile with Persian. This is a fun deck. I don't think it's like going to be super competitive, but it's definitely really cool just to be able to spam this ability while having Persians on the board, which are just incredibly powerful cards. And obviously we can use Lily, and okay, that's my buddy, that's my friend Rob. I keep forgetting. This is what happens when I record at Cards and Comics. By the way, shout out to Cards and Comics, best comic book store in the Conroe, just general, like, I think it's like North Houston area or South Houston, but I don't know, one of the directions. I'm looking at her hand right now, trying to get rid of, oh my god. I'm trying to get rid of anything that could be useful. I don't want her to have Guzma, obviously. So I'm just trying to think of like what she can keep versus what she shouldn't keep. But as you can see, Lusamine Prism is crazy in this deck too, but I don't think it works too much. But yeah, we're going to give her those 4 cards. I think the 2 Nest Balls and Persian and something else. Or Net Balls, not Nest Balls. But no Guzma for game, which is great for us. She's going to put down the other Buzzmosa and Net Ball here. Get Grass Energies to attach. That way she can attack with this thing. She can still win the game, obviously, with enough Jet Punch spread. Like I said, she has 260 HP. She plays cards like Life Forest and other healing-like cards that can help her out. We just need to knock out 1 more Buzzmosa for game, so we're going to do our best to pull that off. We can't hit 260. We can't really abuse Giratina in this matchup either, because we're never going to like put 70 damage on the board with Giratina. Obviously, we can hit 220 with a Choice Band, which is, we would have to put 40 damage, which is a little bit more feasible, but we would need like a perfect board state to do that. 2 Giratinas, then we have to Giovanni them both in the discard pile, then use the abilities immediately again, which I believe you can. I don't think there's a limit to how many times you can use that ability. And then Guzma, take a knockout. That's the best way to do it. But yeah, we're gonna use Giovanni right now. Get rid of some of the targets. Obviously, it doesn't matter too much, but it does open up board space. Like I said, we can still pull off that play that I mentioned with the Giratina, because she did put a second Pheramosa Buzzwole on the bench. We can start targeting that thing with damage. So all we need to do here is put 2 Giovannis down, 2 Giratinas down. We're going to use Marshadow instead, though. Just try to disrupt as much as we can. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just grabbing a card just to thin my deck. I guess that's what I'm doing right now. No need to use that Marshadow yet, I suppose. Maybe I should have sped up these games even more. These games are taking a lot. But to be fair, I'm also talking really, really fast to try to keep up with the gameplay, to talk about all the new cards at the same time. No point in looking at her hand, but at the same time, I can't really attack with something that's going to be O-code. So there's that issue. Yeah, as you can see, this card is just overwhelmingly ridiculous. Just hitting for damage. The first attack, flip a coin. Of heads, you do like 30 more damage or something like that. Something to the lines of that. Just trying to weaken this thing. It's now in range of a choice band. So all we gotta do now is either Guzma it back up, but we also need to find the triple energy because we whiffed energies. So we don't have any energies attached to our Persian. But right now we're just kind of hoping she doesn't have any more Guzmas. Forcing her to discard them was really, really good for us. But it's not enough. She needs an energy switch here, which is something she could play. If she could like Guzma energy switch, that could be pretty cool. Although, I don't know, is the Pheramosa Buzzwole? It's a 2 retreat cost, so she could actually Guzma retreat as well. But she's going to judge instead. So she's going to try her best to make sure I don't have a Guzma or something. She might Elegant Soul me. She can't knock me out though. In fact, she's in this really weird position to where she just has to stop me from getting a triple boost here. She can knock me out and just try her best and not have triple boost. That seems to be her best option. But we do get a Mars Shadow, I think, in a skateboard as well. Enhance Hammer, ooh, that really helps too, because now I can't retreat very easily. Not immediately. I believe we have an escape board, which will let us retreat anyways. We do play switches because we are playing Jirachi. And speaking of switch, we just found one. But there's an escape board there. Let's see what we can do. We still need to find triple boost. So we're still like in that awkward position of trying to find triple boost. We're going to Marsh out straight here. Maybe I could have played a couple switches if I was going for game. Ignore me getting up. I'm just constantly checking the camera to make sure you guys can actually see what's going on. Because I'm using my phone still. I don't have a professional camcorder yet. Or camcorder, camera, whatever you want to call it. We didn't get a triple boost, but we did get a fairy energy. We can still Mars Shadow again here though. There's the Guzma. We don't need to play the Guzma, obviously. We're going to play another Mars Shadow here. Yeah, we're just gonna Mars Shadow again. We really need, if we can find triple boost, we win the game, essentially. We just gotta find it. We know there's at least one more left in the deck. I believe there's 2 more left altogether, but 1 could be prized. But I remember I was making this play because, oh, ignore the discarded Mars Shadow. It's just me playing hectically right now. And there it is, triple boost for game. We retreat, we hit for 220, putting it, taking the knockout there. Just double checking my Pokemon because I did put a bunch on the board and stuff like that. But as you can see, more than enough Pokemon to take the knockout there. And yep, there's game 1. We're gonna move on to game 2 here. Like I said, these are all gonna be a best of 3. I generally do my best to make sure you guys get 3 games though. So it's not gonna be like usually I win 2 games, that's just the end of the video. It's almost always gonna be 3 games unless like the matchup is so skewed in one favor, it doesn't make any sense. But for these games, I wanted you to know I've been recording these games since spring break. Trying to record as much as possible as I could in spring break because obviously school keeps me pretty busy. So during spring break, I essentially took all the decks I wanted to play so that we would have 30 videos. So I believe it was, since there's 2 videos, 2 decks per match, and we wanted to get 10 games recorded, which would be 30 videos, because 10 games, 1 deck profile, so it's 3 videos times 10 is 30. We had to get 10 games, which means we got 20 decks. We took 20 decks. I took 20 of the decks that were most interested in me, some of them including decks that become a lot stronger thanks to a couple cards that are in this set. And oh, we flip again. I think it's because we're recording on a different day or something, I don't remember. And we just randomized them, and the matches that were together ended up being together. So keep in mind that if there's any deck in particular you want to see, just let me know in the comments. And we're not done recording yet. We have like 3 more matches to go before we're done recording everything that we need. So if there's anything in particular you guys want to see us play, we could just squeeze it in, maybe replace one of the matchups with it. And I'm just moving the camera, so please ignore that. All right, cool. There we go. It probably looks a little bit better now. The glare is still bad, but we got a Giratina lead, and obviously my opponent only has 1 lead in this match. So Pokegear to start things off, since my opponent's going first, and Pokegear gets her turn 1 judge. Is she going to use it? I mean, no, she's going to use Green Search to start things off. Not too bad. Obviously, you don't want to judge if you don't need to early game when you're just trying to set up right now. And my opponent wants to get, I guess, a second Pheramosa Buzzwole down. Green Search is just incredibly powerful. This gets her an energy too. She needs an energy attachment in hand. And she's just getting another Pokemon down. That's fair. Although I don't really see the reason to get it so quickly, it's definitely not bad. She can attach return, obviously. And once again, I think she's just trying to like build up these beast like, the cool thing about this deck is with cards like Lucamine Prism, it's pretty much impossible to be not in Lucamine Prism range because the only Pokemon you can knock out is a Pheramosa Buzzwole. And since essentially as long as your opponent doesn't knock out another Pheramosa Buzzwole per game, you have a consistent game state where your B-Strings and your Lucamine Prism is consistently live. And Lucamine Prism means that your Ultra Beast Pokemon, which is what this tag team is immune to damage from attacks. So I think also effects from attacks too. Let me actually double check while I'm here, since you know I have the power of the internet. Lucamine Prism. Double check the text. But I know if you can only play this card if your opponent has exactly 3 prize cards remaining, which is pretty much the only option they can have unless they're playing cards like Kartana GX or what's it called? Blacephalon GX. But prevent all damage done to your Ultra Beast by attacks during your opponent's next turn. So not the effects of attacks, but it does prevent the damage from attacks themselves, which gives you 1 full turn of immunity, which can help you stall. And since as long as you're not taking, like, as long as you're being really calculated with your prizes, like say that you never take more than 2 prizes ever, that means your Surge, your Lieutenant Surge is active throughout the whole game too, and you can always just GX your game, right? I'm just gonna Giovanni right away. She has no, as far as I'm aware, there's no way to boost damage to hit 70 turn 1 with this card. So we're just gonna let her hit my Jirachi. Obviously a really bad start on my end, just a Jirachi lead with all this glare. It's ridiculous. Just gonna grab an Ultra Ball with Jirachi, and I guess we're gonna get Marshadow. Losing a Guzma kind of hurts, but whatever. Grab the Dene here. Like I said, Pheramosa Buzzwole is so strong because you can manipulate your board state so well. Because like I said, as long as you just GX your game, you can have a board state where your Surge is active, where all these brand new counter cards are like useful for you, like that new stamp card. Of course, that's not gonna come out for another 3 months by the time this set comes out, so 4 months technically. But like, let's just talk about the here and now, right? Your B-Strings are gonna always be live. Your Lieutenant Surge will always be live, and your Lucamine Prism will always be live. So there's a bunch of benefits to letting your own Pheramosa Buzzwole get knocked out, and then only taking 2 prize cards, spreading damage for the rest of the game if you can, and then just kind of taking a huge knockout whenever it means it wins the game. Now I'm playing Mr. Mime in this deck. I feel like Mr. Mime is going to be a lot more useful for this whole next set, because all these brand new tag teams are all pretty playable in their own right. And since they're a bunch of fat HP tag team Pokemon, they're going to want to play cards like Acerola. So having Mr. Mime to prevent Acerolas is just overall a useful card to have in deck. So definitely get yourself these new Mr. Mimes that prevent, I believe it's supporter cards. Let me double check. Mr. Mime team up. Let's double check the text. I believe it prevents all trainer cards, but it could just be supporters. Your opponent can't put Pokemon with any damage counters on them or any cards to attach them into their hand. Oh, so just in general, including with abilities and stuff. So no Acerola, no scoop up, super scoop up or anything like that can work as long as your Mr. Mime is on the board. So that's pretty handy. Cynthia here from my opponent. I got a Ditto down, so I guess it's kind of like a Persian GX. It's not exactly the same, but hey, it's something. Ditto is kind of a questionable card in here, only because Ditto can't be put in the discard pile, so it doesn't fuel the Persian attack. But I figured it'd be nice just in case we prize a Meowth. It'd just be nice to have it because we do play the 3/1 line. Attaching energies to the back seems pretty good while she's just spreading damage here, trying to take that approach I mentioned earlier. The question is, where do you put the damage? She's putting on Marshadow because now it's the problem with this matchup, right? Is that I can't really abuse Girautinas because if I let them be damaged by Jet Punch, I can't use Giovanni. So she's putting these damage on Pokemon that she wants to knock out because they will not be Giovanni no matter what. No point putting it on something that's going to evolve into Persian the following turn because that's too much HP and she's going to use Elegant Soul at some point. But here she can Guzma up the Marshadow later for game. As long as she has 7 energies attached, so that's pretty good. So I think she's just trying to avoid taking a second knockout, which is pretty smart because a lot of the time you could probably get away with like a GX attack for game with an Elegant Soul for GX attack for like a bunch of prizes than Elegant Soul for game. But there's Giovanni here. I'm getting it, and I don't think I'm gonna use it. I could use it. I think I just did use it actually. I got rid of the Dene. You don't have to get rid of 2. You can get rid of up to 2. Something to keep in mind. But here we're gonna try to get the other Marshadow, I believe, or just another Dene. You know, as my draw support. It's really cool that we have the Dene in this deck because it means I can use supporters like Giovanni's Scheme without having to worry about not drawing for the turn, which is kind of important because you want to find those energies. A true boost here would be pretty nice. There's a bunch of DCEs and a fairy. I'm playing fairy in this deck. No, not for any particular reason. I think if you play this deck just in general, you should probably play it with either fire or fighting. Fire because you can use your opponent's heat factory. Fighting because you can use your opponent's new fighting type stadium that boosts damage output, because like it boosts damage output on Pokemon with fighting energies attached, not fighting Pokemon themselves. So you could always do that. I was playing Fairy because I was using Mina before, but I ended up taking out Mina because I just didn't like Mina after a while. I like Mina just because on these 3 energy attacking Pokemon because it's really easy to like. I'm just messing with the glare, trying to figure things out. All right, there you go. I like Mina because it's fairly easy to like set up these 3 energy attacking Pokemon because you can Mina plus DCE and that's set up, but it doesn't always work. All right. So let's see if we get the chance to use Persian's ability this game. Like I mentioned earlier, if a GX Pokemon gets knocked out with a Persian on board, then you get the chance to search through your deck for any 2 cards you like. So hopefully I don't forget. I know there was one game where I did forget to use the ability, but like it wasn't anything that really mattered. So that's why I kept the game. And usually whenever I make mistakes lately, I've been trying to cut the games out. And just either go re-record or just like cut it out and make the video a little bit shorter. There's a Mr. Mime, not Mr. Mime, there's the Marshadow. The Marshadows are really nice in this deck list. It's nice disruption while drawing U cards. And with access to Giovanni, they're never really on the board for that long. If there's one thing I want to change about this deck though, I'd probably take out some of the Giratina. Maybe the Giratina strategy is a little bit too, I think it's too much. I don't think you really need the Giratinas in here. I still like the Giovannis, but I could cut down the Giovanni count. I could cut down the Giratinas altogether. Although, what Pokemon would you replace with the Giratinas, you know? Would you just play more tech Pokemon like Absols and stuff like that? That's always an option. But then then you have to decide like what's good on the board and stuff. I could play Lightning Energy and play with Zapdos. I could play, I mean, I don't hate that idea. I mean, it gives you 1 energy attacker. There's a bunch of different partners you can pair with this. I was just trying to keep this deck as like consensus as possible. I'm just using Persian for this video because I want to show off Persian. And we really are showing off Persian here. We're getting consistent 2-hit KOs and we're dominating the board state most of the time. There's another Meowth down and I'm just trying to keep the die there to keep count of Pokemon. And we're just going to go ahead and take a knockout here. With enough Pokemon in discard pile, we were able to hit that number. And here comes the shenanigans with the B-strings and the shenanigans, and let's see what happens. Lusamine Prism means she's immune for a turn, so that's kind of crazy. Like I mentioned earlier, Lusamine is amazing. Excuse me, guys, I'm still in mouth pain and stuff like that. But there's a B-string here. This means that she can just use Elegant Soul this turn and then attempt to Guzma up the Marshadow for game. But she has to keep in mind that after she takes this knockout, we're tied on prizes, so she can't use all of her other cards. So I'm not too sure if I really like this play that much. I did like the fact that she used Lusamine to stall for a turn, but I think she had other options she could have made. Right now, she only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe 6 energies attached. She needs 2 more turns of energy attachments to really abuse. But to be fair, she could. I mean, it's kind of bad though, because now I'm just gonna attack her and she can't Acerola. She max pushing, she loses all those energies, which means she has to put down more Pheramosa Buzzwole down, which is always awkward. So like, it's actually kind of not a great situation for my opponent. She managed to set up obviously, and she is immune for a turn, so that means she gets that free extra turn. So I guess it's not actually that bad. Like here, she can just Elegant Soul again, and only do 60 damage, obviously, but you know, put me in range of other attacks of the Elegant Soul the following. Actually, Elegant Soul doesn't work consecutively like that. Okay, you'd have to Jet Punch then Elegant Soul, but she was immune, so she didn't take any damage that turn. She did get an extra manual attachment for the turn, so she still has a chance to win the game. She can't use Lieutenant Surge. I'm just mentioning that to her right now. I think we will in a second. Oh yeah, I know what happens. Yeah, I mentioned, oh yeah, you can't use Lieutenant Surge, so she puts it back into her hand. So she's gonna escape rope though, give me a brand new Pokemon to put in the active. Just one of those like panic plays because she realized she can't do what she wanted to do. She's gonna Lily instead. She does have Life Force that can prevent maybe a 2-hit KO. I think we have the triple boost in hand still, so we should be okay. But yeah, the Jet Punch has to come here if she wants to use Elegant Soul the following turn. Although, like I said, I think her goal is still the Guzma play for game. Surprised she's not putting the damage counters on the Dene and stuff just to try to prevent me from using cards like Giovanni. That's, I mean, putting them on the Persian too helps because that means if she goes in to try to take a knockout with the Persian, I can just always be all like, no. And she can just take a knockout return. So I have the triple boost here. We're just going to hit her for the 130. Still puts her in range of a 2-hit KO, which is good. Yeah, just 130 damage, which puts her at 140, I believe. I think it's 130. I'm just double checking the counts. Yeah, it's 140. No, maybe it's more. I guess there is more Pokemon down there than I remember. 60, 120. It looks like 160. No, I think that's 180. So 180. She won't be able to heal enough, I believe. She can take a knockout here, but is it really worth? She does have the Life Force in hand, telling me to get rid of that, which is good. She can Guzma and knock out the Persian on the bench, maybe. She doesn't have enough energies. I think she's one short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, she's still 1 energy short from knocking out Marshadow for game. Just looking at the discard pile, trying to count the Pokemon, double checking, see how many of what I've used so far, just to see if she can solidify this game somehow. I'm sure she has a way. Like she could Jet Punch, take a knockout on Marshadow, and then just attack a Persian for game. There's Life Force, healing 60 real quick. She's down to 120, keeping her 140 HP left, still a good amount of HP left. Green Search here for Guzma for the following turn, as well as a Choice Helmet, actually reducing damage by 30, which is kind of relevant, right? That means that my damage, I believe I did 150 last time, which means there's 7 Pokemon in the discard pile. No, it doesn't help enough because if I'm hitting for 150 and she has 140 HP left, actually it does help. So I'm just a choice band or a couple discards away from taking knockout though. So maybe she's deciding not to do that. She might just say, screw this all and just max push it instead, which might be what you have to do if you want to win this game. She might try to find another, what's it called? Another, Pheramosa to switch into. She has a lot of different options here, just depending on like how she feels on my discard pile. How many energies have I used? Things like that. How many DCEs? How many triple boosts? Because she still has access to cards like I still have access to triple boosts, but she has access to cards like Enhanced Hammer and stuff. So she chose another Green Search and a Guzma, and there's another Pheramosa Buzzwole. She might just retreat here. Netball is pretty cool, I suppose. Attaching it to the bench. So that means that she's not going to be able to GX me yet. But she does take 1 extra prize, so I don't know. We'll see what happens here. She is going to retreat, get rid of 2 energies, so looks like she's just giving up on the GX option, just to continue, just to keep one safe on the board. Now I'm out here looking for another Guzma, just to try to win the game, but it looks like, yeah, she looks like she's just going to try to grind this one out and just take knockouts naturally. Probably Jet Punch the Marshadow and then eventually retreat into the other Pheramosa Buzzwole to Elegant Soul for game. That seems like a pretty decent strategy. She does knock out pretty much everything, and she can easily GX attack anything for game, except for the 1 Marshadow on the bench. Also, Mr. Mime has 80 HP, so she could also Elegant Soul the Mr. Mime. Even without the extra energy, she takes 1 extra prize from it, which is all she really needs. I'm just looking through my deck. I think this is the game where I don't have any more Guzmas, and I'm not able to close out this game. I think this is the game because I need to find Guzma here, right? If I don't find Guzma, then that Buzzwole on the bench is going to heal too much, and then these things are going to have too much HP for me to win before she wins the game here. And I don't have any bench space available to me, so I can't really do that. All I can do here is just attack with whatever's in active, with Persian. So I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to have to attack here. Hit her for the whatever damage number I'm hitting her for. Guess we'll find out here in a second. Oh, we're just looking for die, that's right. 60, 120, 180. So we're hitting her for 60, 120, 180. That seems strange. I think it's supposed to be 190. I think oh yeah, that's why she's grabbing one more die for 190. And I don't think she's going to heal the active. I think she's going to heal the bench and switch into the bench Pokemon. I think that's her game plan. But yeah, we're hitting her for 190, which is max damage. We're going to discard the thing in a second. Right now, we're just discussing how she can win this game. Yeah, we're going to there it is. So let's think about this. I think she heals the bench. I think she heals the bench one. 190 with 60 damage on it is actually out of range. So if she heals the bench one and switches into it, unless I find a choice band, I can't actually take a knockout to close the game out. So I think what she needs, oh, there's the Guzma play that I mentioned. And I think that's just GX for, it's not GX for game, but this gets rid of her Acerola as well. Let me see. Oh, I think she's, no, okay. I think we talked about this and it feels smarter to knock out the one that can attack right now. Just in case I find a choice band, it'd be better if she can just take a knockout on me here and now. Because you're still taking 2 prizes regardless, right? So let's see here. Because we're just discussing right now. We're thinking about the logistics of this play. Because once again, we're still both very new to this game. We're deciding, do I want to Acerola to prevent a Guzma? Or do I want to, or do you want to get rid of the thing that can prevent a knockout? So we decided that what happened was she rather risk the choice band than risk the Guzma, because Guzma is searchable as opposed to choice band. I could always be playing Lele and Pokegear and stuff like that. So she's gonna, oh, maybe not. Maybe she counted my discard pile and realized I don't have any Persians, Guzmas left. So she's gonna go ahead and just take a knockout here. And she'd be right in assuming that we don't have any more Guzmas, because I literally can't win this game. All I can do here is decide who I'm gonna make active. But I'm gonna use the Denny here. We're gonna draw the rest of our deck just to see that we have no way to win this game here. No way to attack. Just to double check. Yep. All we had left was a triple boost, but we didn't have any more choice bands and we didn't have any more Guzmas. So here we actually just lost to not having enough resources, which is unfortunate, but it's how the game is. And we're gonna draw the last few cards, and there it is. So there is game 2. We're gonna move on to game 3 here. And let's see if who can win this best of 3. I'll be right back because I gotta close my door. And yeah. I just realized I was recording that whole video with my door open, but it's fine. I didn't want to annoy anybody in my family. They don't like that I record in general, so I just don't want to let them be annoyed or anything like that. So we're gonna move on here to game 3. Jirachi leads pretty good on my side. Also got a Meowth, so pretty strong opening hand on my side. But let's see if we can make this game any better than the last game was. But this is kind of cool. Like I feel like I feel like there was definitely a misplay last game. I don't think she should have taken the knockout where she should have. Just kept herself in that position, just kept jet punching, putting things in game. This Pheramosa Buzzwole, obviously this is our first time playing the deck, and man, that glare is really bad. I do apologize. It is what it is. I don't have a place to record all the time. So until I get my own place, we just gotta go to random stores. And actually it's not really random. It's the only store I go to right now is Cards and Comics, unless I'm going downtown. But let's see, dude, this video is long too. My throat's going to be sore by the end of this. Finding a Giratina here. Discarding one Giratina to get another Giratina. Always nice to make sure we get them all in the discard pile right away. She never benches another Pokemon, so we don't really get to abuse Giratina as much as I would like. Do we have a Dedenne in here? I don't think we have a Dedenne in hand. We can Ultra Ball, which is good though, and get rid of a Switch as well. Giovanni's not bad either. And I think we just find the Dedenne, maybe just like more Pokemon, and we can just Marshadow. That's not bad either. A turn 1 Marshadow is never a bad thing. Okay, just another Meowth. No need to get, I guess, the Ditto yet until we have a decent board state to where we can evolve things quickly. This way it doesn't get jet punched twice. But yeah, Marshadow early. Pheramosa Buzzwole doesn't have too much to worry about though. They have to play a lot of energy so they can abuse their GX attack, as well as play netballs to find both Pheramosa Buzzwole and the GX attack. So Pheramosa Buzzwole is going to be able to most likely get a turn 1 attack off. Also, it's kind of cool in this deck that you can use blue search or green search. I forget which one it is. You can use green search. I think it's green search to find. If I got that backwards, it's gonna be annoying. I think blue is the dude in the manga. Okay, now I have to Google this because I go based off the manga, but I don't remember what the card games goes for. I think it's green search though. Green search Pokemon. Check. Yeah, it is green search. All right, cool. But there we go. Lily, she got into a Lily while I wasn't looking, and that's pretty good. I can't even front. That's pretty good. She's gonna go ahead and jet punch the Meowth with damage on it, just to put it in range of attacks if she needs to. Like I said, I don't really feel like that's the right way to approach these games, but I mean, it's always nice to be able to knock out the thing that's annoying you. Like I said, if she can just take 1 knockout on Persian, that's never bad either. Because it still does the same thing where she puts them in range of 2 prizes, and then just let me get knocked out, and then you just go in and abuse all your cards that are based off your prizes. It is really cool. I like this deck a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And there is a Dedenne, Marshadow. Hopefully this is all synced up. I know this is very long, but we're gonna go ahead and just draw 6 off the Dedenne because we had 0 card hand, which is the new high 5. I'm excited about that. See what we can do here. Great Ball. To give myself a Meowth. Okay, that's fine. No Persian this turn from the looks of it, unless we have a Persian in our hand, but it'd be really nice if we could find a Persian. I am playing the 70 HP Meowth specifically because of this card. Not to mention 70 HP is just generally better. I can't use Elm Search because I'm playing 70 HP, but all these other cards in my deck aren't below 60 HP anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now there's a Persian, so we did manage to get a Persian here, which is good because we can actually start damaging. We want to damage as soon as possible, and we got, from the looks of it, quite a few Pokemon in the discard pile just by turn 2. So that's really, really good for us. Let's see how many we got. I can't wait to count. And there's a Giovanni? Yeah, because we didn't even use Sport yet. We used the Dedenne. So we even got 2 more Pokemon in the discard pile. That's crazy. And this is why I feel like it's better to damage Pokemon like the Dedenne, preventing me from using Giovanni. But let's see. Oh, we're just going to GX here, though, just to prevent being knocked out, which is actually kind of smart. So I want to be able to finish her off the following turn. And we're just counting. Let's see how many Pokemon we got turn 1. Because the max is 9. Keep that in mind. Apparently, I'm not going to know until I start attacking. But apparently, it was enough. I wish I was counting, but it's fine. You guys can count and write in the comments for the people to see, I suppose. But there we go. Just trying to flipping to wake up. Not a big deal, but I mean, it's still nice nonetheless. We have a Lily. We have a Persian we can evolve into if we want to. But we're definitely going to take a prize here, which is nice. I'm debating if I want to use Jirachi first, if I want to bench this Persian. I think I'm just going to play the Lily, draw my 5 cards. Hopefully find another Meowth. No Meowth here, unfortunately. Maybe we can find a Meowth off the off this. Maybe find a Great Ball or a Net Ball. Nothing from the looks of it. Nothing too useful, I should say. Just grab a treasure. Why not? In case she gets down a Life Force, we could always play down the Marshadow. It's unfortunate that in order for you to use the ability, I think you have to discard a stadium first, then use the ability to discard. I mean, then it's unfortunate that in order for you to discard the Pokemon from your hand, you have to use the ability first. You can't just like put in discard pile and get rid of stadium, even though there's no stadium. You know, it'd be nice to be able to just forcibly put Pokemon in discard pile like that, but not gonna work this time. But let's see if we can pull up enough aggression. We still need to get 1 more Meowth down on the board. I'm trying my best to find the last Meowth, but it looks like we did not find one. So just going to end this turn with taking a knockout with Persian. This activates her B-Strings, which means I could probably go down here, and going down would be bad because I have no backup attacker. But going down won't be... I mean, going down could lose me the game, though, because she could take a knockout here. And then a GX knockout for game on the on the Jirachi. So there's a very easy way I just lose this game right here. Maybe taking a knockout wasn't the best play without having a second attacker to put pressure on the board. It looks like she's just going to jet punch here, not do much else. So we got really lucky there. I'm not going to lie. Being able to put down to the 3 prizes without being punished by any B strings or surges or anything like that is unfortunate. She's going to go ahead and take a knockout on Jirachi, giving her 1 prize. Not the end of the world, I suppose. Once again, I just don't feel like it's like the right way to approach these games. But it's definitely like it's not the end of the world either, because let's see if we can find a Meowth. There's a Ditto. I guess Ditto's as close as Meowth as we're gonna find right now. This thing could be straight. I'm a little bit worried about benching this thing because it can be straight up GX'd. Like, no questions about it. It can just be GX without any damage counters on it for 3 prizes. Or 4 prizes, I mean. So it's a little bit worried. It's a little bit worried putting it down, but we have a Meowth down already, so I probably won't do it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack here. Let's see if we hit max damage. We're going to Lily for 1. Boom. Such a strong, passionate Lily. Okay, do we hit 190? We are... Well, no, we are short by 1 Pokemon from the looks of it. So by turn 2, I believe, maybe even later, we got 8 Pokemon in this card pile. So she's going to be able to use Lieutenant Search here, start with a Judge, and hopefully find a backup card. But she can like, unless she's using this Judge to stop me from finding Persian into a triple boost or like anything like that. So I have to draw really, really well off this Persian to win. Now, luckily, we still have a lot of the Denes in the deck and stuff, so we still have ways to draw. But let's see, we got a Persian and DCE. We have Choice Band, but no triple boost yet, and no way to draw either. So we might have to stall a turn, but stalling is not exactly a safe thing to do in this deck. So we'll see what happens. She did find another Pheramosa in case she needs to retreat into it. Let's see here. Lily for a couple cards, so that's her second supporter for the turn, or her final supporter for the turn, I should say. And let's see what else will happen. I think that's it. I think she's just gonna have to take a knockout here, and hope she can win the game with like a Jet Punch into a GX attack, maybe. No, she has to. I don't know. How else is she gonna win the game here? She can't play another supporter. She's already played all 3. So that's not an option she has. But I guess she's just really hoping that my hand sucks, which is completely fair. Completely fair. Because if my hand sucks, all I can do is try to... Looks like she's just adding more cards to her hand just to give me less options to discard that could be useful. A retreat could be pretty decent. Like I said, I think she just needs to take a knockout here and just bank on my hand being bad, because otherwise I just get to attack again and put the next one in range. And oh, she's just gonna max pie here. Do I agree with that play? I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that play too much, but she's gonna pass. All right, so her making that play means I have a whole extra turn to set up a Persian. Let's see, if she took a knockout, let's think about this. If she took a knockout and I top deck Lily, what would I have drawn? Let's see, I'm drawing 1 less card. So I would have drawn the Dene and not the Guzma. So I could have reached for it, for sure. So maybe this was the better play. This means her cards are still alive, right? And by not taking a knockout, she still has the option to win with Jet Punch plays. I just feel like if she thought about that sooner, she could have still B-stringed into Jet Punch on the Marshadow to knock out. So maybe that's what she was trying to do here. Green Search is not bad. Let's see what she can do with Green Search. An Escape Rope means that I have to win via Guzma, which I do have in my hand. And I think she's just banking on me not having Guzma, I suppose. And Choice Band doesn't really do anything, just to get another card. She probably ran out of Green Searches or something. She didn't use B-String either, which is strange, but it's fine. And there's the B-String. And still, this means she could take knockout actually. So she is just gonna take a knockout here, which is pretty good actually. She hits that 220 number. And the problem is right now, I think she just ran out of max potions. Maybe that's what it was. This is actually a really good play if she didn't run out of max potions, because then she could have fully healed another one. And there's Guzma for game. I think that's what it was. I think she just ran out of max potions, which is why she grabbed. Yeah, I think that would have been a really good play, but she ran out of max potions, unfortunately. So that's gonna be the game, guys. Lackluster game 3, I'm not gonna lie, but still the first 2 games were really, really good. We got to show off the decks quite nicely. Like I said, I think Pheramosa Buzzwole, there's so much going for that deck. That deck is super strong. Obviously, it's weak to Reshiram Charizard, which is the unfortunate part, because being weak to fire is like the worst weakness you can kind of have right now between like Baby Bucephalon, Bucephalon GX, and Reshiram Charizard. Just to name like a few fire decks that are really good. There's also a bunch of like random ones like the Arcanine, stuff like that. It's it's kind of a bad weakness to have, and there's not really a way to prevent the weakness. You could always play like a tech Cherubi, but Cherubi could always be knocked out. Cherubi is the one that prevents grass types from having weakness done to them. But like obviously this meta is really cool because there's a lot of, it's like really matchup dependent. So if you can dodge the fire matchups, this deck will wreck house. It's really, really, really strong. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Don't forget to leave that like. Let me know if you guys are excited for the month-long content of Unbroken Bonds. Obviously, the more likes you get, the more motivated I'll be to upload these videos. So I won't miss an upload for you guys if you guys support the content. Peace. Hold on. I forgot my outro. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.